My beloved child, something unusual happened last night, and the energy surrounding this message feels different from anything that has come before. Before you continue listening, don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear is not a random story. It is not an ordinary message. It is a moment that carries meaning, emotion, and a revelation that has been quietly building behind the scenes. Last night, while the world seemed calm and silent, someone could not stop thinking. Someone could not stop remembering. Someone could not escape a name that kept returning to their mind again and again. That person is the one whose energy has been connected to yours for far longer than you realize. While others were sleeping, their thoughts were awake. While everything looked normal from the outside, something powerful was happening within their heart. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There was a moment last night when they suddenly paused. It happened unexpectedly. They were busy with ordinary things, focused on everyday responsibilities, yet out of nowhere, a memory appeared. Not just any memory. A memory connected to you. It arrived without warning and changed the entire direction of their thoughts. At first, they tried to ignore it. They told themselves it was nothing. They convinced themselves it was simply another passing thought. But the more they resisted, the stronger it became. The more they tried to move forward, the more their attention returned to the same place. That is when they realized something. Some connections cannot be explained by logic. Some feelings cannot be hidden forever. And some people continue to leave an impact even when they are not physically present. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the night continued, they found themselves reflecting on moments they had almost forgotten. Small details returned to them. Conversations. Feelings. Possibilities. Questions they never answered. Dreams they never fully understood. What surprised them most was not the memories themselves. It was how strongly those memories affected them. They expected the feelings to fade. They expected time to erase the emotional weight. Instead, they discovered that certain emotions had quietly grown stronger. Last night became a turning point. A realization began to form. A realization they could no longer avoid. And that realization had everything to do with you. Stay till the end because this is where things become even more interesting. The more they reflected, the more they started noticing something unusual. Every attempt to distract themselves somehow led them back to the same thoughts. Every effort to focus elsewhere seemed to circle back to the same emotional questions. Why does this connection still feel important? Why does this person continue to appear in my thoughts? Why do I feel as if something unfinished remains between us? These questions became impossible to ignore. And once those questions appeared, something shifted. The walls they had built around their emotions began to weaken. The certainty they once felt started to disappear. The answers they thought they had no longer seemed complete. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There was a point during the night when they looked at their situation differently than ever before. Instead of focusing on obstacles, they started thinking about possibilities. Instead of concentrating on distance, they focused on connection. Instead of asking why things happened, they began wondering what could happen next. That change may sound small, but for them, it was enormous. Because sometimes the biggest transformations begin with a single thought, a single realization, a single moment of honesty, and last night contained all three. For the first time in a long time, they stopped running from certain emotions. For the first time in a long time, they allowed themselves to sit quietly with their thoughts. And what they discovered surprised them. The connection had not disappeared. The meaning had not faded. The story had not ended. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. As the hours passed, they felt a growing sense that change is approaching. Not because someone told them. Not because they received proof. But because deep inside, they could feel movement where there had once been stillness. They began noticing signs they had overlooked. Opportunities they had dismissed. Feelings they had buried. And each realization added another piece to a puzzle they had been trying to solve for a very long time. What happened last night was not loud. It was not dramatic. It was not obvious. But it was important. Because important moments often arrive quietly. They appear when nobody expects them. They enter a person's life without announcement. And then they change everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The message hidden within last night is simple but powerful. Your soulmate is beginning to see things differently. They are beginning to understand feelings they once questioned. They are beginning to recognize truths they once avoided. And most importantly, they are beginning to acknowledge the significance of a connection they can no longer ignore. This does not mean every answer has appeared overnight. It does not mean every mystery has been solved. But it does mean movement has begun. And movement is often the first sign that something extraordinary is on its way. So listen carefully. Keep your heart open. Keep your mind open. Because the story is still unfolding. The chapter that began last night is not complete. In fact, it may be the beginning of something much larger than either of you expected. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And what started as a simple night of reflection may soon become a moment neither of you will ever forget. A strange shift continued to unfold after the realization that arrived last night. What seemed like a simple moment of reflection was becoming something much greater. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The person connected to your destiny could not escape the feeling that something important was trying to reach them. They tried to focus on other things. They tried to return to their normal routine. Yet every path their thoughts followed somehow led back to the same place. Back to you. What makes this moment so surprising is that they were not expecting it. They believed they had everything under control. They thought they understood their emotions. They thought they knew exactly where they stood. But last night challenged everything. A new perspective entered their mind. A perspective they had never allowed themselves to fully explore before. And once it appeared, it refused to leave. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There was a moment when they suddenly realized how much had changed over time. Things they once considered important no longer seemed important. Things they once ignored suddenly felt valuable. And among all those discoveries, one realization stood above the rest. Some connections continue growing even in silence. Some bonds become stronger without anyone noticing. Some stories continue writing themselves even when nobody can see the pages. This realization stopped them completely. For a long moment, they sat with their thoughts and allowed themselves to be honest. Honest about what they feel. Honest about what they remember. Honest about what they cannot forget. And that honesty brought them face to face with something they had avoided for far too long. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. As they looked back on the journey that brought them here, they began noticing details they had overlooked before. Small moments suddenly seemed meaningful. Tiny events suddenly felt connected. The pieces were starting to fit together. The puzzle was beginning to make sense. And with every piece that found its place, one truth became harder to ignore. You were never as far from their thoughts as they once believed. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then something even more unexpected happened. Instead of focusing on the past, they started thinking about the future. This was new. Very new. For so long, their attention had been fixed on questions they could not answer. But now their attention was moving toward possibilities. What if there is more to this story? What if this connection exists for a reason? What if the future holds something neither of us can see yet? These questions created a completely different energy. An energy filled with curiosity. An energy filled with hope. An energy filled with anticipation. And that anticipation continued growing stronger as the night moved forward. What they felt was not confusion. What they felt was not uncertainty. It was the sense that something important is approaching. Something meaningful. Something unforgettable. Something huge. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The more they listened to their heart, the clearer things became. The noise around them began to fade. The distractions lost their power. The doubts became quieter. And through that silence, one message kept returning again and again. Pay attention. Notice what is happening. Do not ignore this connection. That message appeared repeatedly. Not once. Not twice. Again and again. Until it became impossible to dismiss. That is why last night matters. That is why this message matters. Because last night was not about coincidence. It was about awakening. It was about recognition. It was about finally seeing something that had been present all along. And once something is truly seen, it can never be unseen. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Right now, while you are listening, the story continues moving forward. The energy continues shifting. The realization continues growing. And somewhere within this unfolding chapter, a new beginning is quietly preparing itself. A beginning that neither of you expected. A beginning that arrived without announcement. A beginning that carries the potential to transform everything. The message from your soulmate is becoming clearer. Not through words. Not through explanations. But through understanding. Through awareness. Through the realization that some people enter our lives for a reason greater than we can immediately understand. And that realization is growing stronger every single day. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what started as a single thought last night has now become something impossible to ignore. And the next chapter may reveal answers that have been waiting far longer than anyone realizes. A remarkable realization continued growing after everything that unfolded last night. What began as a quiet moment had now become impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the night faded and a new day approached, your soulmate carried the same thoughts with them. Usually, thoughts come and go. Feelings rise and fall. Memories appear and disappear. But this was different. This remained. This stayed. This followed them wherever they went. And the more they tried to understand why, the more they discovered something surprising. The connection they feel is not becoming weaker. It is becoming clearer. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There was a moment when they looked around and realized that life had been giving them subtle reminders all along. Little moments. Unexpected thoughts. Unusual feelings. Strange timing. At first these things seemed unrelated. Now they no longer seem random. Now they seem connected. And every connection pointed toward the same realization. Some stories are meant to continue. Some chapters are meant to reopen. Some people are meant to leave a lasting impact. The more they understood this, the more their perspective changed. What once looked uncertain began to look meaningful. What once felt distant began to feel closer. What once seemed impossible began to feel possible. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Then came the most surprising realization of all. They stopped asking whether this connection mattered. Instead, they started asking how much it mattered. That single shift changed everything. Because once a person moves from doubt into understanding, their entire world begins to look different. They began seeing things through new eyes. They began noticing opportunities where they once saw obstacles. They began noticing hope where they once saw uncertainty. And perhaps most importantly, they began noticing possibilities where they once saw limits. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The message hidden within last night keeps becoming stronger. Your soulmate is learning something important. They are learning that meaningful connections leave lasting impressions. They are learning that genuine feelings cannot be erased by time alone. They are learning that certain people remain important no matter how many distractions appear. And every lesson brings them closer to a truth they can no longer deny. A truth that has been quietly waiting beneath the surface. A truth that grows stronger every day. A truth connected directly to you. The deeper they looked into their own heart, the clearer that truth became. Not because someone told them. Not because someone convinced them. But because they finally allowed themselves to listen. Sometimes the loudest answers arrive through silence. Sometimes the biggest revelations arrive during ordinary moments. And sometimes one night changes everything. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. What happened last night was not simply about memories. It was about awakening. It was about recognition. It was about understanding something that had been hidden in plain sight. For so long, they searched for certainty in all the wrong places. Yet the answer was closer than they realized. The feeling never disappeared. The connection never vanished. The meaning never left. It remained patiently waiting to be recognized. And now that recognition has begun. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine discovering that something you thought was fading had actually been growing stronger. Imagine realizing that a chapter you believed was ending was actually preparing for a new beginning. Imagine understanding that the story is much larger than you first believed. That is exactly where your soulmate finds themselves now. Standing between what was and what could be. Standing between old questions and new answers. Standing at the edge of a realization that feels impossible to ignore. And every day that passes adds another piece to the picture. Every day reveals another clue. Every day brings another understanding. The message continues becoming clearer. The connection continues becoming stronger. The awareness continues expanding. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate now understands that some moments arrive for a reason. Some encounters happen for a reason. Some connections appear for a reason. And when those reasons finally begin revealing themselves, everything starts making sense. That process has already started. The pieces are moving. The story is unfolding. The next chapter is approaching. And what began with a single thought last night is now becoming something much bigger than anyone expected. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the message from your soulmate is no longer hidden. It is becoming clearer with every passing moment. And the journey that started last night may soon lead to a revelation that changes the entire direction of this story.